and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmicrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Off, cleanup made simple.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker, who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All righty, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Heading into the weekend. Bach, you got any big plans for the weekend?
Not too big. Just happy as anybody when the weekend hits, right?
I've seen the meme or the GIF or whatever you want to call it. It's like going to bed early, hanging out in my room. I'm missing some stuff in here. All my childhood punishments have now become my adulthood goals. I can totally relate to that. Like going to bed at 9, I think, is another one that it says. We talked about that national title game that you and I both didn't see the second half of. What was it? Virginia Tech, Florida State, 99 to 2000 Sugar Bowl.
That's right.
By the way, what are the odds? Okay, for those who didn't hear, randomly, in the middle of a show, the 99 Sugar Bowl gets brought up because we're talking about whatever it was we were talking about, and you didn't get to see the second half.
No.
Because you got sent to bed early.
Yeah.
I did too. Randomly comes up in the middle of a show. So we never got to see Michael Vick running wild against Florida State, Peter Warwick, all those guys, Bobby Bowden in that Sugar Bowl. The second half, Florida State ultimately won. It ended up winning by 17 points. I'm just saying Nebraska might have won that game, but who knows? But Bach and I both missed the second half because both of our parents sent us to bed early. And all these years later, I don't want to say we hold a grudge, but we remember it very well.
Still haven't forgiven them.
What are the odds that we would both that same game? So anyways, I digress. My point is staycation sometimes sounds like a glorious thing to me. All the things that my parents used to punish me with are the things I now reward myself with now that I'm an adult to this day. Sorry, did you say you had big plans for the weekend or no? I forgot.
No, I don't have too big of plans. I can't really think of any at all, which is great.
We got 6 kids, all play multiple club sports. So we've got 2 daughters who are competing in regionals in track. One is the 100, 200 long jump and the 4x1. And they're trying to make it to nationals. And then my 6th grader, who honestly, I think I told you this maybe on air, didn't train at all, just played soccer, but she runs really fast miles, like 5:24 as a 6th grader. And so at the end of one of her state soccer tournament, we had her do the 400 on a Saturday. The next day, you could do the 800. She didn't qualify in the 400. She came straight from soccer, like borderline exhausted, but qualified in the 800. She's actually had time to train a little bit now. So she's going to try to qualify for nationals. I got a kid who's playing as we speak right now. My wife is texting me updates, all right, in the 9U, all right, in Omaha, AA state baseball tournament. So we got all sorts of sports and life going on. Loaded show today, as always. You know what you're going to get. Unique insight and broad honesty. Producer Jake and I are going to have a whole lot of fun in the process. You're going to hear Husker sports, college football, sports in general. All right, Jake, I Another quote came out from Scott Frost yesterday. Do we address it or not? I did not warn you that I have this. I'm sure you've seen it because you're on top of things. I'm going to leave it up to you. Do we address it or not?
I'd say we can address it. Yeah, it's not. I don't think this one was as
all right.
Something that stirs up Nebraska as much.
We're going to put a shot clock on this because we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. So here we go. People are rooting. This is a Scott Frost quote. Another one that just came out. All right. People are rooting for you, but not all up in your business either. Talking about being at Nebraska versus being at UCF. This is talking about being at UCF. People are rooting for you, but not all up in your business either. Frost said, that's why I enjoyed UCF the first time. The fan base is great. They're going to fill the bounce house, which is their stadium, and be crazy. But you can also live your life aside from it, and that's really comfortable for my family, and that's the end of the quote. What's your initial reaction when you hear this? Again, the shot clock is running, my friend.
I hate to say it, and maybe I don't want to elongate the conversation by sticking up for him for a little bit, but it is, I don't want to get into rumors or any of that, but there were rumors and stuff that going around town that might not be helpful for his family and that sort of stuff. So, from that perspective, I could see maybe that being the case, but you just kind of go back to what he had said before, which is, don't take the wrong job. It's that some jobs are going to fit different people better. And for Scott Frost, that was one thing that he was careful about before he took the UCF job. He didn't take the Colorado State job. That's a job that's been very difficult for a lot of people to go win. So there are different fits and stuff that are going to work. And this is one where if you're at Nebraska, you will be the most, as the head coach, you'll be the most recognizable person in the state. So yeah, if you want to go to the grocery store, you want to do this and that without being recognized, you might be better off doing that in Orlando. It's less of a crazy, college fan base. Though it is a huge campus, and people do love UCF down there, which has surprised me when I kind of thought about it because I thought people would just be Florida State or Miami or Florida fans, but UCF has got a huge fan base. But in any case, so it's somewhat this one. It's just kind of tied to the rumors, more understandable, I think, than the others.
I think it's a load of crap. I do. And I think it's a load of crap because it's part of the job. It's part of the gig. You can't just accept the check and then just say, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I want the check and I only want this part of the job. It's part of the whole entire job. When we say things on this show, people are allowed to respond. That's part of the job. People are going to respond. People are going to say, hey, you're smart. You're an idiot. This is why. Sometimes they don't say why and they just come at you with feelings and emotions. And that's the thing I don't get crazy about. Come at me with proof, facts, and evidence, not feelings, emotions, and ego. But that's part of the job. If you're going to be a pro athlete, you're going to be talked about on social media. If you're going to make $35+ million a year, like if you come here, you know that that's going to be part of the gig. But it's also like when you're criticized, if you don't do a good job, don't get mad at the person criticizing you. Get better at your job, like whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whatever it may be. Part of being the head coach in Nebraska is you're going to be the most recognizable face in the entire state. And that was not a surprise to him when he got here. This was not news to him. He knew that before he came here, so don't take the job. Either say, I'm here and I'm glad to be here, cha-ching, and now I'm going to go try to win some football games. I'm going to be out in public. I understand that this is what it is. Or grow some huevos and say no thanks. One or the other. It's like he gave into the pressure that he felt apparently, wanted the credit for that, but didn't want to actually do the job, but had no problem cashing the checks. And it's just like, no. When you're a pro athlete or a coach that's highly paid, you're allowed to be criticized on a different level than like somebody who, I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with a random job, like whether you are a plumber or you do lawns or you are a teacher, like I don't see those people being criticized to the same level or being recognized to the same level. Also, that's not part of their job like it is part of your job. Like if you're going to take the money and you're going to come here and you're going to say, I'm going to take this job, that's part of it, all encompassing. You can't pick and choose or just say no. You know what I mean? Just say no. You can't, if you want to be a great athlete, but you don't want to work hard, being a great athlete probably isn't up your alley. And you can say that as a football coach as well. I don't know. To me, it was like, it rubbed me the wrong way. Like if I say something on this show or any show that I do, and it's wrong, and people correct me, that's not on them, that's on me. If I'm an athlete at the university right now and I'm not in the best shape that I can be in, and somebody points it out, that's not on the person who pointed it out, that's on you, because that's part of your job, especially now that they're getting paid 6 and 7 figures. Like, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And I understand some people are more private, some people may not want to be recognized in public, and he knew he was going to be recognized, but I get all that. Then don't take the job. Do what fits what you want to do, what fits your skill set, what is, for lack of a better way of putting it, right up your alley. Don't take something, accept the money, and then say it wasn't my fault. It's everybody else's fault, and just have absolutely no self-awareness. I mean, at some point, and we're going to move on. The shot clock expired, and I talked way longer than I meant to. At some point, does he look in the mirror and say, I have one winning season as a head coach? One magical season. What is it? 4 losing seasons? So his first year at UCF technically was a losing season because they were 6-6, lost the bowl game 6-7. Comes to Nebraska, has multiple losing seasons. Like, at some point, do you look in the mirror and say,
You would think so. I mean, I do. I think the totality of this is what's frustrating is to your point. Like, even this one's not as frustrating to me. Like I said, Caleb Williams said a similar thing when he transferred from Norman, Oklahoma to Los Angeles. Said, I like being able to walk around Los Angeles, not be, swarmed or whatever. Understandable. Different markets, different, levels of stars, whatever. But I think the frustrating thing, to your point, is, anything that he's complaining about now or kind of looking back at now, it's because of his bad tenure here that he looks back and starts counting up these things that are problems with Nebraska. But he knew about all of them coming in, right? And they're not necessarily problems. Again, they're fits. Some people would love the attention, or, whatever. You don't want to say love the attention, but like Matt Rule does a good job of using that attention to heighten Lincoln. To do whenever he gets any sort of opportunity. I've heard anybody run into Matt Rule and say, yeah, he just blew by me. And so I just think it's frustrating to go back on this and look at what he's kind of detracting from Nebraska when he, of all people, knew. And that's the very reason a lot of us thought it was going to work, is because he knew what worked at Nebraska. And then we kind of overlooked some things. Like, he knew what kind of mentality works at Nebraska, but he's going to bring in a completely different offense. Okay, let's kind of see, okay, so we kind of looked over those things. How much, even though he was a Nebraska quarterback and Farmwood River and all that stuff, how much does he really relate to your everyday Nebraskan or the Nebraska fan base? I'm not sure it's all that much, especially now.
I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not going to divulge names. I got some messages from some folks at Wood River. They're like, you need to share this on air. I'm not going to share what they shared with me. I didn't, first of all, I didn't verify it. Also, even if it was, we're getting way into, there's people who play with him in high school who are not his fan. I'll put it that way, at all. And to the extent where they sent me messages that takes 5 minutes to read. And I'm just like, okay. So I think with Frost, because you could argue, if Riley came in, and I'm just using Riley as an example. Okay. If another coach comes in and they're caught off guard by the attention that Nebraska gets, and I can't go anywhere because you are the most recognizable face in the entire state of Nebraska, you could almost say, okay, I get it. Maybe you should have prepped and learned about the job before you took and accepted the job. But if you just didn't know and now you're surprised, that might be one thing. I'd still say educate yourself first. Don't show up and be surprised. Learn about the job before you accept it. He knew everything. He knew everything down to the nth degree, to the teeny tiniest little detail of what it was going to be like. And he still took the job. And now he complains about it later after it didn't go well. And I remember saying at the time, and it wasn't just me, the way I phrased it, because everyone's like, this is the perfect guy. All the coaches he had learned under, from Osborne to Kelly, and there's a whole list, all the different, he had the success at UCF. He's a Nebraska guy. He understands what it takes. He understands Nebraska. He understands Husker football, old school, blue collar, in your face, smash mouth football. And then he had that no huddle offense, and they snapped the ball every 18 seconds in Oregon and every 23 seconds, slightly slower when he was a head coach at UCF. By the way, where was that when he was here? I feel like he never brought that with him. He ran it, I think, one game against Penn State when Luke McCaffrey started. And that's all. I remember afterwards talking about it, where's that been? And then when Luke wasn't the quarterback anymore, it didn't come back. I was like, what? You didn't even bring Scott Frost's offense with you, Scott Frost. But I think it was almost, because I said he was, out of 7 billion people on the face of planet Earth at that time, I said he's probably the best candidate out of 7 billion people. I never said he was the only guy that could have success here. I never thought that. But I said he was the best candidate. I could have been inversely wrong. He could have been, not the worst candidate, but like, there's some people who don't know anything about football that, they would be worse candidates. But within the reasonable realm of candidates, he might have been the worst one, because I think the day he walked through the door, I'm just going to say, he had grudges that he hadn't let go of from 25 years earlier. And he carried that around with him each and every day. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And because of that, he may have been the exact wrong candidate, if that makes any sense to anybody. And again, shot clock expired. All right. Somebody did point this out to me. They said, remember, Adam, he went to Stanford first, and when he couldn't make it there, then came here. And I was like, oh, now he comes here, can't hack it as a coach, and goes to UCF. I was like, wow. That's a very strong, valid point. I had it written down here. I was debating whether I was going to point that out, and I did. But I don't know. You got any final thoughts before we move on? Is there anything from the text line there, Jake, before we move on?
I mean, I just think the whole thing is fascinating. Nick kind of has brought this up, is kind of taking Nebraska out of it and looking at it as just any story of a returning national champion quarterback coming back to save the program. And that's what it was. I mean, I don't want to say part of it's on us, but it's just the situation all played out so that not only, like, I remember asking people, because I always kind of said, it was like, okay, if he can even get you back to a Bo Pelini level, that's a step in the right direction. But when I ask around town, what do people want? They want him to be the next Tom Osborne. They didn't want him to be the next Bo Pelini. And so it was, the level of expectation and the excitement around the Frost hire is crazy compared to, I think, just the fanfare and that and the hype and all that excitement compared to what Frost was going through himself. Because when you, like you said, grudges and just, these things that he didn't like about Nebraska, that he was not adapting to. And so when they started, we all know about the Akron thunderstorm. Okay, that didn't go right. But when you start 0-6 and you start to get down this like path of where the snowball would just keep kind of going down, if you don't believe, like if you didn't want to take this job and then you're 0-6 and things are looking the wrong way, then you're kind of finding reasons and pouting as to why it's not going well, as opposed to, feeling like, like any head coach should in year one, right? Where you can turn it around. So I think things started, the snowball effect, right? I think things started to go more downhill than even what we recognized at the time, because now we're seeing what Frost's outlook on was the whole time.
So I trust Michael Severe, because I remember, I think it was just after he'd been let go, because I saw a clip randomly of it come up again. He talked about how assistant coaches were going to the AD being like, he's late to practice every day. He's not showing up to this. He's not showing up to that. And I trust Michael Severe, so I don't doubt he's telling the truth. As soon as I heard that, whenever that was 5-6 years ago, I was like trying to envision myself as a player and my head coach not being there or showing up late day in and day out. So bad that the assistant coaches have to try to go to the AD to get it fixed. And I was like, I can't fathom that. You got Tom Coughlin, who's like, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're getting fined in the NFL. And then you got someone who hadn't let go of grudges from 25 years earlier, and it just built and built and built to the point where he clearly was just like, I'm checked out. Now the checks are still checking in, but I'm checking out. I will say this, and we do need to move on, but I had zero intention of talking about Scott Frost today until I saw that other quote. I will say this, because I fell into this too. So I accept responsibility for this. Dubbing him like, and I never used the word savior, but I had that expectation. The next Tom Osborne, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And I fell into that too. So that's on me too. Anybody else who fell into that, I'm sure can relate. I will say this. I feel like we've done that again to a degree with Dylan RAIOLA.
Interesting.
I do. When people last year, about the second half of the season, when he started to struggle, and Holgerson even mentioned, hey, he hit a freshman wall. I don't know if he said rookie or freshman, but basically a first-year wall. I would have people being like, he was a 5-star. He should be doing better. And I'm sitting here saying, he's still a teenager. On this show, you heard me. He's still a teenager. He's still a true freshman. Like, I stuck up for him. But there's still this aspect of we've kind of transitioned. Is this our new savior? And it makes me nervous because are we doing it again to a degree, this time just with an actual current player? When he goes around and he does all these appearances, I've said a million times, am I a fan of that? No, I'm not. It depends on the intention. If it's to high tide raises all ships and bring up everything in the state of Nebraska sports-wise, that's awesome. If it's because I love going around and being a celebrity, I don't love it. I don't hate it as long as you win. I've said, as long as you win, I'm fine with it. I don't see anything negative out of it, but what's the intention behind it? But here's what matters is if you win. I just get nervous that we might be doing it with Dylan Raiola to just a degree. That's why I've never said first round pick, All-American, Heisman, any of that. I put it off a year. I have just said, just be something all Big Ten. I even said honorable mention all Big Ten. You don't have to be first, second, or third team. This year, just be honorable mention because now you are an experienced quarterback. Now you're the most experienced true freshman quarterback in the country. You've thrown more passes. You've played more snaps. You've got a brand new offensive coordinator that you have some experience with from a year ago, but they have curtailed a lot of things around him and set him up for success. But unlike what I did with Scott Frost, I'm not making the gigantic leap to, I want this now. It's the staircase of success, and let's take it one step after another, and the next step for him is a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. The next step for him is, 67% completion percentage. But when he was playing well, he was in the 70 to 72%. The last 3 games with Holgerson in the first 6 games, he was over 70%. It was kind of that third quarter of the season where he really struggled from Indiana and a couple of teams that we played after that. I think UCLA was in there as well. And so that's what I'm looking for. I don't want to project this guy's the savior because he's uber talented, a 5-star, and has first-round talent written all over him. No. Let's take a different approach than we did with Frost. Let's do the staircase of success, and let's see a gradual improvement. In a year from now, I might sing an entirely different song, but that's how I'm looking at it right now. Does that make sense to you? What do we have off the text line, if anything?
Yeah, there's a few comments on Frost as there usually are. 7826 says, when he came in and said we were going to make the Big Ten adjust to us, I knew it was no good.
Dude, so, okay. That's a fair point. At the time, everybody loved it. I loved it. The confidence, the brashness. Finally, we will be good again. All that stuff. We're going to go to the next level. And you got to keep in mind, we weren't as far removed from a 9-win season as we are now. So the next step on the staircase of success at that point in time was getting back to winning 8, 9, 10 games. It wasn't just trying to get to 8 wins like I've talked about this year. So it was very different at that point in time. Still to this day, I don't know that I hate that comment. I still don't know that I do. I don't like it as much now with hindsight being 2020, which is easy to say. But I do think that added to the level of expectation as well. I've talked about it this year with Matt Rule. He keeps talking about the year 3 jump. And the reason I'm not a fan of it is because I keep thinking of Scott Frost in his press conferences and how he hurt himself. I'm not saying Matt Rule's doing the same thing. I'm saying I see similarities, but I hope there's a different outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I remember back to his year 2. I was all building up for year 2 under Scott Frost, and then year 2 came and went. And it never took off.
All right. Do we talk about this in segment 2? I didn't even have this planned at all. I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh, there's that quote that came out yesterday. All right, we'll put a shot clock on it and be done. You want to do it in segment 2 or move on? Your call, Jake. Or should we leave it up to the texters?
Let's leave it up to the texters.
All right, let us know. Segment 2 is completely up to the people. Text in. What's that number?
402-464-5685.
You can just simply say yes or no. We will do democratically the majority rules what we do is segment 2. We can go on with the show as previously planned, which we're actually a little bit behind on topics, but that's okay. The show is always loaded. Or we can do what the people want if you want to go with Scott Frost. Let us know. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Looking to upgrade your hay equipment this season? Landmark Implement has a lineup of pre-owned balers and windrowers ready to go to work. In the race against time, make sure your hay equipment is up to the task. When you buy used hay equipment from Landmark, you're backed by our extensive parts and service network, complete with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you in the field. Shop all used hay equipment online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Play ball!
Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies and light winds, a high around 86. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, a low near 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds, and a high around 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Jake, do we have to keep talking about Scott Frost or not? What did the people say? You tell me.
I think we've probably got more people saying move on. I don't know if they're tired of the talk or they just dislike Frost that much, but yeah.
I'm cool with that. You even said during the break, you were like, oh, I can just tell you don't want to talk about this and this guy. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. So I'm good with that. Okay. So some of the main topics for today's show, as we had planned, we're going to get back on schedule. Now, Dylan Raiola, it was interesting that Dylan Raiola kind of randomly came up in the last segment. There was something, it was at Huskers on X. They posted something and said Dylan Raiola over or under 20.5 interceptions. And I was like, oh man, that's a great topic. Let's also talk about the INT, touchdown interception ratio. So one of the things we will talk about throughout the rest of the course of the show is, will Dylan Raiola have over or under 20.5 interceptions and 20.5 touchdowns. I said that to begin with, right? 20.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That'd be a terrible amount of interceptions. 20.5 touchdowns and over or under 7 interceptions. Now, the 7 interceptions was not part of the original tweet that I saw or post on X, whatever that's called these days. But that was something that I think is equally important. I mean, if he throws 21 touchdowns but has 15 interceptions, that's not great. I'd rather have 16 touchdowns and 8 interceptions or something like that. At least a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. All right. Also, what I want to talk about now, and we touched on this a little bit yesterday, but the first ever, and I don't know that any other school's ever done this either. I think we're the first one to do this. I like when Nebraska is the first one to do certain things. But the first ever alumni volleyball match. Again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we now know some of the alumni that will be a part of this alumni match. And of course, some of the names you would expect, right, but are very exciting. You got Jordan Larson, Lauren Stivrins, Kelly Hunter, Lindsey Krause, Kenzie Maloney, Layla Blackwell, Allie Battenhorst. What are your thoughts on seeing some of the alumni? And that's 7 of them that I just listed right there. Is that 7? Yep, that's 7. I'm a math major. It used to be not. Okay. What are your thoughts on some of the alumni that will be participating in this? And you have to give an early favorite, Jake. Who's going to win this thing?
Yeah, it's just it's fascinating this decision to go through with it, because you're kind of thinking, man, it wouldn't necessarily be a good look. We mentioned this yesterday. If Nebraska loses, also might not be a good look if some of the pros lose. So it makes it very interesting. And there are some names in here of some gals that either had most recently played at Nebraska or are currently playing professionally. So this thing is so intriguing. I'd love to see the betting odds, because I don't even know where to set it at. But I mean, if I had to choose, I think I have to think Nebraska's got some sort of plan to allow the college team to win. So I'm not going to. I think there's something that's going to alter this to allow the college team to win. That's what I'm going with.
It's an interesting dynamic because Jordan Larson was just an assistant coach with a lot of these gals the past couple of years. I was very curious to see if Lexi Rodriguez, she was not mentioned, but that would have been awesome because she just played with a lot of them for the past 4 years. Like, how sweet would that have been? Oh, man, it's going to be fun. My gut, I'm probably the only one who really cares about this. It's just the competitor in me. Like, I've at least gotten to the point where I can play board games with my wife and the loser isn't mad at the other person for like a week. Like, when we first got married, and you got to keep in mind, I was still playing. Like, since I've retired, I've had to learn not everything is a competition, because everything was a competition with me. Like, sorry, Yahtzee, card games. Like, if you beat me, I wasn't going to be mad at you, but I was not going to want to be around you that was just me. I didn't want to be around you for a bit. And my wife is incredibly nice and sweet, but she has this flip side to her. Like, she's a black belt in Taekwondo and she coaches club soccer and basketball. And she's the CEO of the Carriker House, keeps us running in the right direction. She's got this side where she's an intense competitor too. And so, as silly as it sounds, we'd be playing card games or we'd be playing whatever, and whoever lost, like, would be mad at the other person for like legit 24 to 48 hours. And so I remember sitting down at the apartment that we were renting in DC while I played for the Skins. And I was like, all right, like, we can't be getting divorced over Yahtzee here. Like, we need to sit down and we need to be able to play games with each other. And I think we had 2 kids at that time. We got to, when our kids are older, we've got to be able to play games with our kids when they're older, our other kids if we have some. Apparently, we've had some since then, for those who don't know. And I was just like, this can't continue. And that was kind of the first time I realized, okay, not everything is a competition. And so since I've retired, like, I had this switch when I played. I'd get on the field, and I was a very different person than I was off the field. But a lot of times, I would find ways, without even trying, to motivate myself. Like, if somebody said something, I wasn't going to forget that, especially if it was not positive. Now, if it was true, I wouldn't get mad at them. I'd get mad at myself. If it wasn't true, then I'd get mad at them. But I was easily motivated. But anyways, my point is I had to kind of find ways to learn and grow beyond that, especially once I retired. So maybe I'm the only person who's, like, genuinely curious what the outcomes are going to be. Maybe nobody else cares. For me, I mean, you've got, so obviously they're women. The girls who are playing in college are women, but you've got grown frickin' women on the alumni side. Like, women who've been playing this for 20 plus years in some cases. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the alumni. You make a fair point. Is this going to be like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? And there's like a little bit of a predetermined outcome here. I'm not saying that I know that that's the case. I'm just like what Jake said earlier, like, you want the college team to look good. You know what I mean? But then do the alumni, would they really take a dive? I don't think they would do that. I think it's got to be a true outcome, and I'm going to give the slight edge to the alumni.
Well, I'm fascinated to see too, like, what comes out of this. If Nebraska, let's say the team loses to the alumni and then go on and, like, go undefeated, then we're going to say, well, they got to play the alumni every year, so they learn that first. And so it just could turn into something very fun. But man, and it's good. It's good to get competition that early. And of course, the volleyball team will have played together, you got team camaraderie and all that, and know, more familiarity. So I think you might play until the college team's ahead and then cut it off. I don't see a situation in which they can lose this.
It's crazy to me, because who would have ever thought you would see Jordan Larson playing against Nebraska's volleyball team, or Allie Battenhorst, transfers to USC, but comes back, plays for the Supernovas, and she's going to be on that court with former Huskers playing against other former Huskers. Kelly Hunter, Lindsey Krause, Kenzie Maloney here, Lauren Stivrins. Oh, I'm excited to watch this. To me, this is like, I don't want to say I'm more excited for this than like a Final Four match or something, but this is like on that same level. I'm genuinely curious. I guarantee going in, it's going to be all love and friendships. And then that, you better not beat me in freaking Yahtzee and Chutes and Ladders. That competitiveness is going to come out, and you're going to see some fun. At the end of the day, everyone knows it's all love. I can't wait to watch this thing. I can't wait to see it. Do we have anything off the text line? And people want to move on past Frost, but anything on the text line in general, outside of Frost and or volleyball related, we should address real quick there, Jake?
Doesn't look like it's there's still some comments on Frost, but other than that, there's people are trying to figure out different ways. Like Scott, Minnesota says, Nebraska has a bye September 27th. And who else want to go to Manhattan for UCF and Kansas State? So people might be traveling to go cheer against Frost. I think that's an interesting dynamic. And Nolan Border says, how fun would it be to play UCF in a bowl game? I think we'd all agree that would be fantastic.
Okay, so that's not direct. It's Frost related.
It's more of a fun side of the Frost discussion, at least.
It's a different. There you go, different side of the Frost discussion. Would you really want to play UCF in a bowl game? Genuine question, Jake.
I would love it. I mean, bowl games are so weird. I don't know who'd be sitting out, but I would love it. I do understand, because there's also been talk. Let's just play them. Let's beat them on the field instead of home and home. That's the worst look. You're not going to do that, because if you happen to lose that game as Matt Rule, and you don't even have to be the worst team. Sometimes a different game can happen. You're not going to set that up.
Yeah.
That's not a good situation. But if it happens to happen in a bowl game, absolutely, I'd be fired up for it.
Would Scott would he set foot back in Lincoln? The home and home, you said. There'd have to be a Lincoln part of this.
No way.
So he'd do the Sharon Moore, where I'm going to be suspended that particular game. I know he's not suspended, but you get my point. Like, oh man.
I hate to say this, but as a Husker fan, I love because people did that. They were so upset. They're like, all right, let's just settle it on the field then. Let's do it. And I'm so burned as a Husker fan. I'm like, maybe let's, I'm not back in the day, I would be like, yes, let's settle in the field. Nebraska hasn't won a big game, hasn't beat a top 25 team. In so long, I'm like, I don't know if I want to settle it on the field right now. Maybe we should just keep arguing. Although the UCF-Nebraska matchup right now particularly would favor Nebraska.
All right. So here's how I'll answer that. I agree with you. Regular season matchup, not great. Now, you could do a one-time neutral site game. We would bring 90,000. UCF would bring 3. Why don't we just make that a bowl game if we're going to do that? So the home and home, probably not great. The college football playoff, if we were to play them, somehow they get in, we get in. I probably wouldn't be uber excited about that. Now, if we win, I'd be through the roof excited. But you make a good point. The best team doesn't always win in a one-game scenario. Anything could happen. Imagine if we did lose. Oh, my Lord. And plus, if you're in the college football playoff, you don't need added excitement. I like the bowl game thing, though. I do like the bowl game thing because people will be excited if and when Nebraska goes to a bowl game next year. It won't have the same excitement. And the more you continue to go to a bowl game, the less excited people will be over time because eventually you want to be in the playoff. So just trying to add a little intrigue to a bowl game, especially if it were like 2 years from now or even this upcoming season, I could see that. All right. Let me see here. I got one question. By the way, Jake brought that up. Jake brought up Scott Frost again. That was not me. I just want that pointed out. All right. Officially and finally moving on. I do have one question for the fine folks at home. Here's send your answer into the text line. All right. What's that number there, Jake?
402-464-5685.
If you could change the outcome of one play to change the trajectory of the Nebraska football program, which would it be and why? One play in Nebraska football history that you could change, and you think it might have the biggest effect on the trajectory of Nebraska football program going forward. What play would you change and why? Let us know. Text in, and we'll be right back.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
An award-winning softball season deserves a celebration. Don't miss your chance to congratulate Jordy Ball in person. Join the team at Midwest Bank for a special meet and greet on July 16th at their Jamie Lane location as they recognize her incredible achievements. Bring your friends, your team spirit, and your favorite gear for Jordy to sign, and it all kicks off at 4 p.m. They can't wait to see you there. Get all the details at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank, member FDIC. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, dude. What responses have we gotten? What plays have been brought up?
It's interesting because I, kind of thinking through this about what different plays to go through. A lot of plays that I would think would be talked about are there. Derek in a car mentions the Byron Bennett field goal attempt against Florida State.
Oh, okay. That's a fair one. Yeah. How about the call on the fumble? How about the phantom block in the back and Corey Dixon's punt return? I'm just saying. Sorry, proceed.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, the field goal directly leads to a win. So at least
so do the other two things. Come on.
Well, there's a lot of game left. That's my question about all this is because, and I know it's just a hypothetical situation. We're supposed to have fun with it, but I won't let my brain do that. I say, well, is there a butterfly effect? If I change the 83 Orange Bowl, championship, is there a butterfly effect that the 90s doesn't happen the way that it should? Because it's easy to say, I just taken out another national title, but you talked about changing the direction of the program. That's why I think, I'm all good with everything that happened through Tom Osborne because it was fantastic. Yeah, it could have been better here and there, but it was fantastic. I would probably change something afterwards so I could change the trajectory of the program.
Fair point, because you talk about the 2-point conversion versus Miami that obviously we weren't able to convert, but real men go for two. Just know that. You talk about the kick, the field goal against Florida State with Mr. Bennett that didn't go through. I brought up a couple of BS calls that didn't go our way, but I digress. What else do we got here? The 82 Penn State game.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was 92 yards out of bounds. And Tom Osborne, last time I interviewed him, he actually said Joe Paterno years later was like, remember that 82 game? That guy might have been out of bounds. Like, kind of admitted it to Osborne.
Well, yeah.
So there's another one. But you make a great point. Not a whole lot to complain about through the 90s. All right, what's post-90s, my friend?
The biggest one, we've had several people text in,
09.
the 09 Texas game, which people are saying, like, what do you change there? Just at the second left, seconds off? Or
yeah, you don't put it back on.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's changing a play. That's changing in.
They don't get the extra play. They don't get the extra play. How about that?
Yeah, fair enough. And then we also had, I thought this was interesting. Somebody says the strip of Martinez in the Michigan game.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Which there's no sure thing, even if he doesn't get stripped there, that Nebraska goes down and wins that game. That would be my argument with that still. But that certainly would have been a little more entertaining to see if they had an opportunity to.
So do you remember the big thing going into that game? I do, like it was yesterday, because we actually had a couple of wins, and it was, can we get over the hump and get the big win? So that's actually not a bad one. It doesn't occur to a lot of people right out the gate, but I've always said getting that first big win is the hardest. What if he doesn't fumble? What if he's not stripped? What if we win that game? And that's the first one. And think of all the close games we've lost since. Maybe some of those go a little bit differently if that monkey's off the back. Keep in mind, Osborne didn't win a national title for 21 years. Then he won 3 out of 4.
I don't want to bring this up again, but
oh god,
all this might help Frost stay longer at Nebraska.
You just are determined to bring him up. Oh my gosh.
This was during the Frost era. If they get that win against Michigan, maybe we're stuck with more years of that man.
Well, maybe he wins more games. And no, we're not good.
I'm just not sure if it heads to a good
We're
direction.
not going down that rabbit hole. So maybe you make a point that is not a play we want to overturn.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a guy walking by with the Restore the Order shirt. You remember those?
Oh, yes.
Dude, that's
Those
my
are
junior
best.
year.
The
Junior year.
best.
Callahan's like, we're going to restore the order in the Big 12 North. Is that my junior year or my senior? It's my junior year, because we walked off Boulder, walked off the field up at Boulder, and some of the players had those shirts on under the pads. I don't remember if I did or not. I was very finicky with what I wore during games. I may or may not have had my on, but we had restored the order. That shirt is legit 20 years old.
Yes, it's
Mitch-
one of my favorites. That's awesome.
Dude, Mitch Sherman hit me up like 2 years ago. He's like, do you remember the Rock, the Pound the Rock? He's like, it's still outside of the Hawks Championship Center that used to be up in our meeting room. That thing's like a couple thousand pounds. It's like they moved it there and said, we're done. And it's just been there for years.
Yeah.
That's back from when Callahan played. And then we wanted to pound the rock and actually run the ball back when that was supposed to be a priority. I don't know if that actually manufactured that year. That may have been the year when Zach Taylor was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. So I think it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what a blast from the past to randomly see that restore. Some people are like, what is he talking about? Restore the order. Some people probably weren't even born yet.
Yeah, well.
But for those who remember, a guy walked by randomly with headphones on with a Restore the Order shirt from like 20 years ago.
What as we bring up your playing career, was there a play throughout your playing career that you thought could have helped that team, help the trajectory of the program a little bit more?
Oh, man. I got to think about that for a second. We got a break coming up. Why don't you read a couple more of those while I ponder and try to think and not hurt myself here?
Yeah, well, here's 9040 says, onside kick with a 14-point lead against Northwestern. Unbelievably unnecessary and erratic. It was probably the kicker's fault, according to Frost. And we do have, a certain guy, Bill Bush, who was a special teams coach that's on early break in the morning. He said that was open. Like if it was hit better by the kicker, then it could have worked out. So there is that. Again, a lot of talk about the 09 game, which when you said it, that's kind of what I thought people were going to say with Texas, because if you win that game, you win, obviously you break the conference title drought. Do you still move to the Big 10 as Big 12 champs? Remember it was that offseason that kind of started to go around. Probably would, but then you kind of think, could Pelini take it another step forward? I mean, what are you doing? And obviously at that time in the BCS game once you make it. So, that's why I kind of think of that trajectory of a program. That one could be pretty big.
Somebody mentioned the end of the Virginia Tech game. If Virginia Tech doesn't go down and score, I forget what year that was. That might have been 09, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Sure. I don't hate that answer. I don't know that it's at the top of my list. The 2009 championship game. Or how about the gigantic lead that we had versus Oklahoma in a couple of the Big 12 championship games? That's not a single, did we say single player game?
You said play, but
any of those go differently. I'm so tired of hearing the national title was in 99 or whatever, championship. Because to answer your question, 2006 Big 12 championship game. Now, we lost to Oklahoma. This is my least favorite game of my entire career. It's not hard to figure out why. Oklahoma, Big 12 championship game, we didn't win. Like when I tell people that there are things that I'm very proud of in my career and there's things that still, I can use the H word, haunt me to this day, that's at the top of my list. You're going to make us go to break?
We better go to break. It's called a tease.
All right. Jake is bringing up Frost and teasing you. Feel free to text him whatever you'd like to text him on that text line. We'll be back, and then we'll finish the rest of my story. You don't go anywhere. Hour 2 of the Adam Carriker Show, and we come back.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies and light winds, and a high around 86. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies, a low near 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds, and a high around 84. I'm meteorologist Kyle Becker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. 93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the 2nd season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to hour 2, numero dos of the Adam Carriker Show. All right, it is the noon hour, and that means it's lunchtime. The lunch hour of the Adam Carriker Show on the Ticket is sponsored by our friends at Mulberry Barbecue, now with two locations at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try the burnt-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, a full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Dude, I am legit hungry. Like, just thinking about it makes me really hungry. Mulberry Barbecue does a phenomenal job. Get fueled for lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, just off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. One more note. We'll have one monthly remote at Mulberry Barbecue's South location, and our first one will be Friday, July 25th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. Well, let me finish my story. I was going to ask for more plays or things that have been texted in. Is there a few more that have come in?
Yeah, there's a few more.
All right. So back to my story before Jake really interrupted me. But the 2006 Big 12 championship game. I remember it very well because we had the ball first. And Zach Taylor completes a pass to Maurice Purify, my guy. Love Mo. All right. Fumbled at the 13-yard line, our 13-yard line. Oklahoma goes in to score the first time they get the ball, unfortunately. And I forget if it was the first time they got the ball. No, actually, it was not the first time. I think it was Oklahoma's third possession. They ended up scoring, going up 14-0. They ended up beating us 21-7. But I've always wondered, had that, and fumbles happen, obviously. But had that first fumble not happened, because then you're right away, they've got momentum. Right away, you're behind the 8 ball. Then they finally do score on an actual drive on offense, and it's 14-0. And that feels very, very different than 7-0, especially right out the gate. That game has haunted me personally ever since the final whistle of that game blew. And I just wonder if that play doesn't happen, not placing blame on any one person or anything. Things happen. All right, there's plays throughout that game where I'm sure if I watched the game film again, I'd be pretty happy. And there's plays throughout that game, I'd probably be pretty upset with myself. So not placing blame on anyone or any one thing. Just if we could change something in that game, maybe they don't get their first drive at our 13-yard line. And then maybe it's not 14-0 when they finally do put together a drive. And maybe the outcome of that game is different, and maybe people feel differently about certain things, whether it's the 2009 Big 12 championship game, whether it's Later on, Big 12 championship games versus Oklahoma where we had big leads, and unfortunately the bad guys came out and scored more points at the end of it. Maybe this game goes a little bit differently. I mean, this, I don't know if this would have had a ricochet effect or the butterfly effect, as you said, but, we faked a punt against Auburn in the Cotton Bowl. I think that was like our own 17, or I'd have to look up the exact yard line. I remember being on the sidelines. What are we doing? And actually, it would have worked. Just the person who was open was not hit. But so there's always going to be plays here and there. But when you ask for my career, one that I think could have had the biggest ricochet effect, because there's certain monkeys that have been on Nebraska's back, getting to a bowl game, a winning season, beating Wisconsin. And no matter how small the monkey is, until you get it off your back, it's still there. And sometimes that can add. Now, can we get to a 9-win season? Can we get to 8 wins? Can we beat a ranked team? Can we get back to winning a conference championship, which I actually think is significantly harder than just getting in the college football playoff now. So I would actually say getting in the college football playoff once we win 9 or 10 games, and then maybe you win a conference championship or compete in a conference championship game, however many years down the road that is. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but get back to a New Year's Six bowl game. The aforementioned bowl game versus Auburn was the Cotton Bowl, and the instant you were like, well, what about your career, Adam? I'm not going to lie to you. I had that I just lost Chutes and Ladders and Yahtzee feeling arise inside of me because I knew it wasn't going to be a positive thing. So thank you for asking me that question, Jake.
Well, I get a few more games I thought during your career while you're thinking about it. The Texas Tech game, what was that, 05?
No. What are we doing?
What
are we doing?
How about the 06 Terrence Dunn fumble against Texas?
Hey, where's Nick Stainer? Where's Nick Stainer?
Hey, those are just a few plays that could have swung things a little
wanted
bit.
a butterfly effect. I wanted a butterfly effect.
No, I do have my plan that I've decided after thinking on it for a while. I think would be 1999 Grubb Buckhalter fumble against Texas. If they win that, then we do stay up late that night and watch the championship game. I think our parents would watch us because I think Nebraska would be in there. And if Frank could have taken home a championship in 1999, who knows what happens with Nebraska the next 20 years.
That's a good point. I'm still mad at you for bringing up those other plays. I'm trying to still listen to what you're saying without just jumping over the table.
Because in 2005, if you beat Texas, then you would have probably went to the Big 12 championship game because you would have had the tiebreaker over Colorado.
No, that's true. Now you're jumping all over the place, and I'm still mad about some of the other plays that you brought up. So we're going to come back to your thing, the 99 thing, because I can't move forward until I address some of the things you said. So the Texas Tech game in Lincoln, I mean, we had the game won. It was a 4th and goal from like their 10, their 12. We drop a defensive tackle into coverage. It's a zone drop. He catches it. If he just simply takes the knee, falls down in the end zone, it's our ball, touchback, game over. We kneel, end the game. He does what any defensive lineman is going to naturally do because we never get the ball. Tries to run, fumbles. They get the ball back. They end up scoring. What was the other stupid play that you brought up?
2006 against Texas.
Oh, I ever since that day, I have felt so bad for T. Nunn because he's a Texas kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You have any idea how bad he wanted to win that game? And then again, it's not his fault. There was probably 120 plays that could have that led up to that play, and I guarantee a lot of those could have gone differently. So everyone focuses on what happens at the end of the game. So again, not placing blame on anyone. I've always felt bad for him, being a kid from Texas. That had to be. It was an extra sting for everybody because it's frickin' gag me you. All right. And the bad guys came out on top that day, but just being a kid from Texas and then that being the play that led to their final score, that had to be extra hard. Yeah, man, my senior year, you look back, a lot of guys on that defense that ended up drafted. My junior year, we actually led the nation in sacks, had 50 sacks. My senior year had a bunch of guys that went on to play in the NFL and a lot of games that could have gone either way. We still won 9 games that year, despite really should have beaten Texas, did not, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Really should have beaten Texas Tech. I mean, literally, there was, that was the year before. That was my junior year, actually. That was my junior year because the defensive tackle was a senior and I was a junior. He was a year older than me, so that's a separate season. But you think about some of these games that could have gone either way, just little things here and there. I talked about the fake punt versus Auburn. And they beat us by 3, and we handed them 7 points in the first quarter on that fake punt. And the Oklahoma game. I mean, this is football. This is sports. When I say You don't know what's going to happen until the ball, that funny shaped ball is kicked off and it's going to bounce all over the place. Like, this is why I say that, because you don't really know what's going to happen. You're getting a smirk on your face. What is the comment you're reading?
Well, it's just somebody is attacking me, and I don't know.
Good. I support this person. Read the comment and pause for effect when necessary, Jake.
All right. He says Jake's dream football game is Iowa versus Minnesota. So far, not offended. In the snow.
You should be. That's
not
highly
offended.
offensive.
Hey, that's
Iowa versus Texas, even worse.
Hey, Iowa versus Minnesota is a Florida Rosedale, best trophy game in college football.
Wow.
In any case, in the snow with a Scott Frost pregame speech and a halftime show by male Texas A&M cheerleaders. So.
Dude, you got to read that whole thing again. You get that just kept going.
Yeah, I like the beginning of it. I wasn't, too offended.
That kept going. Now you should be offended. I hope you are.
Yeah, I'll read it again. Jake's dream football game is Iowa versus Minnesota in the snow with a Scott Frost pregame speech and a halftime show by the male Texas A&M cheerleaders.
Ooh. Dude,
Yell leaders, I think is what they're called.
That is one of my favorite comments we have ever received. I salute you, sir. What was the name of that texter?
This is just an unnamed texter.
I salute you, unnamed texter. What else is on there? Hey, folks, feel free to attack Jake. Have at it right now, okay? All right, if you'd like. Is there anything else, though, seriously, from the text line?
It is kind of some interesting other thoughts. I'm trying to go through it because I try to find where it was. Someone says, what about the momentum killer for the Big Ten title game? Kenny Bell, best block ever, called bogus targeting penalty. But Nebraska was still down by quite a bit. I know, like, to his point, momentum, but I don't know.
Isn't that the game where it was not close?
It was not close.
Yeah. So I understand what you're saying, but that game was not close. You know what's the most why did this become a topic today? Why? Well, I know why it became a topic, because I asked the question and then you decided to attack my entire career and everything I've ever done in my life. But okay, I guess we asked for it. But I do want to get to Dylan Raiola. All right, and him, man, if he could have a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. These aren't even bonkers numbers. Just throw over 20 touchdowns, have under 7 interceptions, which is technically 3-to-1. Again, I would take a 16 to touchdown passes to 8 interceptions, a 2-to-1 ratio, but we will get to that. All right. What'd you mention right before I started to tease Dylan again? You mentioned something, and I was going to address it, and then I went blank. You've got my mind in like 15 different places right now. You really do.
Well, I could keep reading more text and keep going, but yeah, I mean, the Big 12 title game. Yeah, I didn't think that was. I don't think that would be the play I would choose.
It was the Big Ten title game. Okay, that's where it was. You know the most frustrating thing about that game to me? You do remember they were the 3rd seed in leaders, or I forget if we were leaders or legends back then. Yeah. Let's say we were leaders and they were legends.
We were legends. Yeah.
Okay. They were the 3rd team out of the leaders because the top 2 teams were ineligible for the Big Ten title game. That to this day is something that, like, we won. Would you say we were legends?
Yeah.
We won the legends. They were 3rd in the leaders. And not only did they beat us, it went the way that it did. That was one of the more frustrating games for me. The snow game, the record-setting rushing performance in 3 games in the snow game, unfortunately, versus Wisconsin, and that game, because neither game was close. They weren't doing anything fancy. If you go back and watch the film, there's nothing fancy about it. And it's just like we had no answers. Those were the most frustrating things for me. Now we've gone from games that were close and 1 or 2 plays decided to now games that were just on the other end of the spectrum. All right. Is there anything else? Is there any other comments, any other plays that have come up? I think kind of the consensus. Oh, the 99 game. Again, you got me bouncing all over, dude.
That's right.
The 99, that's a fair point, because do you think we beat Florida State in that national title game? Now, as Nebraska people, we inherently want to say yes. Okay, I'm just trying to be objective here. We did lose to Texas. We lost. Florida State was number 1, the first team to ever do it in the history of college football. Preseason number 1, wire-to-wire, undefeated, and won the national championship at the end. No team had ever done that before, because that was a big deal. Bobby Bowden, Peter Warwick, all those guys, okay? Now, we did lose to Texas. You remember the Colorado game? They about came back and beat us, and we beat them by 3 points at the end that year. Now, to be clear, that 99 team, I think they were absolutely a national championship type team. My question is, would we get the team that showed up versus Tennessee in the Fiesta Bowl? Would we get the team that showed up in the Big 12 championship game and stomped a mud hole and gagged me you and walked it dry? Or would there be some of the other things that kind of showed up here and there throughout the season like which team would we get in that national title game? If we get the team that showed up in the Big 12 title game and in the bowl game, which, by the way, were the last 2 games of the year, so that's most likely the team we would have got, then I take Nebraska. But if there's fumble issues or something like that, which showed up a couple of times, I'd have to go with Florida State. Florida State was really good. Who do you think actually would have won that game had we made it into the game over Vatek?
Well, I'm getting very specific here, but was that the year Peter Warwick had to sit out the first half or something? He had gotten to some. I mean, so I think that might have factored into
I'll
it
look
if
it up.
it was. I think there
I'll
was
look it up.
something like that going on, so that can factor into it too. But yeah, I mean, I think we would have liked to see it, right? It's tough to tell. I don't feel like 1999 is the team that we would say is the best Nebraska team of all time, right? Where you would argue they would beat anybody, but they were up there. They're probably among, along with 83, the best team not to win a championship at Nebraska. And there's probably a few others you can throw out there. So I'd be fascinated to see that, and it would have been so good because you remember that in '99. That was the decade of Nebraska and Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
And people will still go back and say Florida State was the best team that decade, even though they have one less championship than Nebraska because they were in the top 5 year after year. I think if Nebraska played it, we'd put them in the rightful spot in the top 5, but not at number 1.
It is the year that Warwick was suspended.
Okay, yeah.
So you're correct.
That would have factored in.
I will say this. I do think the thing that frustrated me about the national title game that year, Florida State and Vatek was undefeated. Like, I knew Virginia Tech really had no shot of beating Florida State unless there were just some horrible calls and a bunch of fumbles. Virginia Tech, I mean, Michael Vick put on his cape that night. He turned into Superman, and they still lost by 17. They could not have played Florida State any closer. 17 was the closest they were going to play Florida State. Virginia Tech had a good team and Superman. Florida State had 22 of the best players in America. And so that was the thing that always frustrated me, as entertaining as that game was. Virginia Tech played the game of their life. Michael Vick played the best game he played that entire year. He was a redshirt freshman, and they still lost by 3 possessions. Nebraska, whatever the outcome, that is a 1-possession game. And this is back in the day when we had success in 1-possession games pretty consistently. Here's why I would take Nebraska. Because when I first posed the question to you, like legit, the Colorado game, the initial Texas loss, I was like, I'd probably take Florida State. And as I was talking through it, the 2 best performances Nebraska had that year were their last 2 games versus their 2 toughest opponents. Texas, who they just manhandled, all right, in the Big 12 championship game. And then Tennessee, who was a top 5 team. T. Martin was back after Tennessee had just gone undefeated and won the national title in 98. And by the way, beat Florida State for that national title in 1998. And Chris Winkie was the quarterback for the Noles. I think Nebraska wins. And there's multiple reasons why. Number 1, they were playing their best ball. Right then and there was their best ball. Number 2, Nebraska had the previous times that they played Florida State and frankly outplayed them, but the bad guys came out on top. They would have that. And I think that would be something that would kind of ride and they could carry into the game. And I actually think as long as they play like they did against Tennessee, and that game was never close. We ended up winning by 10. We were up by 24 at one point. And I remember we took a knee at the Tennessee 10-yard line and ran out the end of the clock. It was 31-21. It easily could have been 38-45-21. And that was a good Tennessee team. And I would take Nebraska because they're playing their best ball at the right time. And I think the losses earlier in the decade to Florida State would have been something that would have propelled Nebraska to beat them in that 99 championship game, kind of like it propelled them to their win over Miami in 94, because they had what was the exact mantra? Finish or
unfinished business.
Unfinished business. And I think that's something that would have carried forward. Now, if we make the mistakes that were made in some of those earlier games, Florida State's too good. They would have won. But I would take Nebraska, and at worst, it's a 1-score game. That was the only thing that ever frustrated me about that Virginia Tech game, was that was the best they were going to do, and they still lost by 3 scores. All right, any other thoughts, any other text there? And then when we come back from break, we will chat about Dylan RAIOLA this upcoming season.
Yeah, now you got me looking through the 99 Florida State team to try to see what I think about the matchup there. But, it's similar. Like you said, Nebraska may have struggled against Colorado or whatever. They had a one-possession win over Clemson, who was 6-6 that year.
Fair point.
There's going to be some ups and downs. So it depends on what team they would bring to the table. Oh, man, that's one I'm going to have to play in heaven once I get there and ask ask to see what the situation would play out, because that would be such a great game.
All right, so do you have your final decision on the one play or even one game that you could change that would have the butterfly effect and the biggest impact on the trajectory of Nebraska's football program going forward? Do you have the one play or the one game that you would change?
Yeah, like I said, I think because I wouldn't, if the butterfly effect is in a possibility, then I wouldn't necessarily go back to the 83 Orange Bowl. I think a lot of people would kind of think about that 84 Orange Bowl, 83 season. But if that's in play, I think the 99 one makes a lot of sense to me. So that fumble to beat Texas in the first game, and of course, like you said, they beat them in the Big 12 title game. That's probably what I want to see for the trajectory of the program. Again, what if Frank wins a championship in 99? I mean, who knows what happens from there?
Dude, that's such a great point, because when I wanted to propose this today, that didn't even pop into my head. All the plays we've already discussed pretty much popped into my head, and some others as well. That one did not, because you make a great point. Nebraska beats Texas, then they're undefeated. I assume they smashed them in the Big 12 championship game. Now, sometimes it's different in a rematch when you're the winner versus a loser versus winner, but I think we'd beat them again.
We could have our own butterfly effect in there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it bites us in the keister there, Jake, but we play Florida State. Now, this is assuming we beat them. We would have been the underdog going into that game, okay? But let's say Frank wins and they win that championship. He gets way more benefit of the doubt going forward. Maybe he stays longer. Maybe he's given more runway. I mean, remember, we won 10. I say we because I was here. I was a redshirt freshman. We won 10 games the year he was fired. Yeah, I'm pausing for effect. We won 9 games in the regular season. He got fired. We ended up winning the bowl game. We won 10 games the year he was fired. What if he'd have gotten more time? And that's a rabbit hole we can go all the way down. We're not going to. That is an intriguing one. My only caveat is there's too many question marks. If we beat Texas and Austin, do we then beat them in the rematch, or do they somehow have the advantage as the loser? I think it's hard to beat the same team twice. And then we'd have to beat Florida State. Now, I actually just sat here and said I think it would happen, but I'm not going to sit here and say definitively. So I'm going to go to the 09 Big 12 championship game, because I think that changes a lot. I think that has a ricochet effect going forward, a butterfly effect going forward. And another one of those monkeys that's on our back would be off the back. And it'd be something that I think would have a butterfly effect in a positive manner for Nebraska's football trajectory from that point up until now. So back then going forward up until now. All right. Any other things off the text line before we
Oh, we still have people texting about the 1 second against Texas. Even one fan saying he's a true Husker fan through and through, but he thinks there should have been 1 second put back on there. Yeah, so a lot of people. And then Old Dad says, by the way, that the 93 team was the best team to not win a title in his opinion. I've threw out the 83 and 99 teams. And that's the one fascinating too, is because if they win in 93, do you win in 94? Do you still have unfinished business in 94? What happens in 95? All that sort of stuff. So it's all fun to kind of run down.
That's a fair point, because a lot of the guys that come here to the freaking ticket are like, yeah, it kind of propelled them, the unfinished business, and they'd put 118 back on the clock after their winter workouts were done, and they'd go pound it for 118 because that's what was left in that last drive when they tried to go down and score versus Florida State, led to the field goal. Maybe it doesn't have the same impact. Or maybe we win 3 in a row. Right. There's that too. As far as the best team, dude, I would give 93 the edge over 99. We're splitting hairs and then splitting hairs again here. Most people are going to go to 83. Don't forget about 82. To me, it would be 93 or 83. I've talked to some guys who were around the Miami program then, because I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 84. I was born 6 months later after this game was played, or 5 months later, May 6th. And they did say Nebraska's offense was the best in the country, but the defense, this is not my words, I'm just sharing things that were said to me, it was outdated and archaic. And I wonder if you bring that same defense, if you could, 83 Nebraska versus 93, because our 93 defense was, they held Charlie Ward and Florida State to 18 points, and that's if You don't say William Floyd fumbled. Otherwise, it's 11 points. I would give the slight edge to 93 as well, just because of the defense there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Koppel Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Koppel. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at koppelcars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Jake has attempted to make my life miserable today, but the good folks on the text line stood up for me. All right, my man, is there anything left, or can we finally move on to Dylan Raiola, or do you want to talk about the worst plays in my career, Nebraska football, and more Scott Frost? What do you want to do, Jake? It's your show.
Hey, don't tip me, but let's move on to Dylan here.
Is there anything off the text line? Are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay. So I got another question for the fine folks at home. The question is two parts. Number one, Dylan Raiola over or under 20.5 touchdown passes this year? Over or under 20.5 touchdown passes this year? Part two, over or under 7. I didn't go with the half. I just went 7. Over or under 7 interceptions this year, which would be, if it was 21-6 or even 21-7, that'd be a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So that'd be quite the year. Now, if we're talking about potential all Big Ten type performance, whether it's first team, second team, third team, or honorable mention, those are the types of things you'd have to do. I'd love just a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception type ratio. Let me know what the fine folks say as they're texting in. But what's your initial reaction to question part 1 and question part 2 there, Jake?
Well, I kind of like where you put it, right? It's not necessarily, hey, is he going to throw for 28 touchdowns and 3 picks, right? It's kind of to what you were saying earlier, is maybe this year isn't the year to be the Heisman Trophy winner. If he does, great. But if, maybe this is the year to kind of take that leap and set yourself up for your junior and senior season to be in those discussions. And I think a season like this could do that. I think this is a good goal to aim for. This is about where you'll look at. But the interesting thing to me is that, and I think he has to take all these strides, right? And hopefully there's going to be a lot that's put on him. But in order to hit these goals, he's going to have to need a significantly better offense around him, I think, to kind of help him out. We'll see if the wide receiver unit, as we know last year, kind of overhauling it into this year, are they going to be able to, get open, get off of press coverage, block downfield, which they weren't doing repeatedly? Are you going to get much of a running game, from Emmett Johnson as well as, the other backs there? But specifically, are you going to get more of a pass catching threat from Emmett Johnson? If he can get 3 or 4 receiving touchdowns, that'll certainly help out Raiola in this category. So, I think with Dana Holgorsen, the new offense, I think 20 touchdowns is attainable. I would probably say, although I think it's going to be close, wouldn't be disappointed by 18 or 19 touchdowns, but that would be good. A big part of this also is going to be the red zone. Are you going to be able to score inside the red zone? Nebraska has struggled with that over the last several years. And if you do, is it going to be running straight ahead, which I wouldn't mind, but sometimes that's going to take away from those passing touchdowns from Dylan Raiola. But in any case, I think 20 feels pretty good. I would take the over there. 7 interceptions, might take the over there as well. I think they're going to be passing the ball a lot. You want to keep it under that. I wouldn't see it, with a successful season for Dylan going much above that. But, I could see having 8 interceptions. Anything more than that, you're kind of getting into troubling territory. But that's why I said I just like the numbers that you put, because it really makes you think, that's about the territory he should be aiming for.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. And if you look at his stats a year ago, all right, he had 2,819 pass yards, 13 passing touchdowns, 11 INTs. And I've said it before, but I'll repeat it right now. Halfway through the season, 6-0, the bye week, going into Indiana, he had 9 touchdowns to 3 INTs. All right, obviously down the stretch, that flipped up just a little bit, 4 touchdown passes to 8 INTs. So a 1-to-2 ratio, which obviously, there were more losses in the second half of the season. So those things are going to go hand in hand. But as you said, not to sound cliche, but it's a team effort. Can you run the ball? Can you protect him? How's play action pass looking? Can they just stack the box? Can they just pin back their ears because they know you can't run the ball? So there's a lot of things that go hand in hand here, and you're looking for, I think when Matt Rule talks about a jump in year 3, I'm like, that'd be great. 8 wins. Not a jump, but I would take that. With Dylan Raiola, I think it's fair to expect more of a jump. I think it's fair because of the talent that he possesses, the expectations, everything that's coming into this. I mean, I think it's fair. I mean, let's just, I'm happy that athletes are getting paid. If you're going to be paid a certain amount, there's a certain amount of expectations that's going to come with it. If you're going to make 7 figures and into the 7 figures, there's expectations, accountability, and everything else, and excitement and anticipation that comes with that. And that's more than fair to point out. College athletes are now being paid, some of them more than pro athletes, and nobody has any problem holding pro athletes accountable. Now, these guys are younger, et cetera, et cetera. When you're making more money over the next 2 years than a lot of the people cheering you on in the stands are going to make over the next 20 years, I think it's fair. Now, don't go crazy. Like, don't be disrespectful. Don't go, if somebody has a bad game, don't attack them personally. Like, I'm not supporting any of that, but I think the expectations that go along with it, I think they are fair to talk about. Now, you dive a little bit deeper into what he did last year. All right, Dylan completed 275 passes out of 410 pass attempts, because you talked about we might be throwing the ball a lot this year. Just reading this stat, question popped into my head. Over or under 410 pass attempts for Dylan Raiola this year? Do we pass it more or less than a year ago?
I would say more, but I don't think it can be a whole lot more. I mean, that's kind of what the thought process. They're going to start chucking the ball around. He threw that average is about to 32 attempts per game.
I mean, doing that math. Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
I don't know if you're going to get to, if Dan Holgerson says he doesn't do air raid anymore, if you're throwing 40 times a game, that's pretty close. I mean, that's getting pretty close to air raid. So I don't know how many. I don't know if it's going to be a whole lot more attempts.
Did you do that math in your head, or was that a calculator?
No, that's a calculator.
Okay, I'll give it. No, you did count. How'd you get? It's 34.16.
I just did 410 divided by 13.
Oh, you got late. Oh, the bowl game.
The bowl
All
game,
right,
yeah.
that's my bad. You're right. I'm just out to get you, Jake. Just FYI, as a target on your back, my friend. All right. So let's see. 410 pass attempts, completed 275 of those passes. His passer rating was 63.8, and he started all 13 games, as we know. He also had a completion percentage of 67.1%. Here's another over-under. And what are we getting? Hold on. Before we do more over-unders here on his completion percentage, what it's going to be. What are we getting text line-wise? Over-under on the 20 touchdowns, over-under on the 7 interceptions?
It's interesting because you get a lot of different responses here. I'll get to those here in a second. The low amount, by the way, for which he threw in attempts per game was UNI, which was 23. Other than that was 27, which he did several games. But that's still a lot, that's a lot of putting the ball up in the air. But some of the other thoughts here, Isaac says over touchdowns, under interceptions, baby. So he definitely feels good about it.
Okay.
Twizzlers says 24-6 is kind of his expectation there.
That's 4-1. All right.
Yeah, we'd definitely take it.
Yeah.
Hizzlebear says wasn't his high score ratio like 30-1? I think he could do much better.
34-1 his senior year.
Oh, there you go. Augie says over on INTs, push on touchdowns. So a little less optimistic there.
So I should have done the half.
He could have.
I should have done the half. Of course, I would have said 7.5. He would have said under and taken 7. So never mind. Anything else?
Yeah, Brian Miller off YouTube's getting specific here. He says 20-10, but he's worried about his sidearm off of his back foot and his ball floats too much when going vertical.
So that is something Kenny Wilhite brought up yesterday, the sidearm. And we got into an interesting conversation with Kenny because, and I brought this up, he brought up the arm strength and the sidearm. I brought up being a former quarterback, all right, especially like you notice guys who run really well, it's not that they can't read from the pocket. They just, if it's not there, one or maybe their first read, maybe their second read, they'll take off because that's a strength. So you don't develop from the pocket as well. If you've got a really strong arm, sometimes, and you'll see it with baseball pitchers too. All right, because being a baseball pitcher myself, I tend to watch mechanics when it comes to quarterbacks and it comes to baseball pitchers. You kind of, I don't want to say you get lazy, but you're like, I got a strong arm, I can get it there. You don't tend to hone the technique as much sometimes because you can get away with it. Now, with Dylan, the sidearm thing is a fair point. By the way, I'm going to answer a couple of questions here before I get into the sidearm thing, etc. I'm going to take, you make a great point, 32 pass attempts a game. I hope we're not over that unless we're running over 64 plays a game. So I'm going to take the under on 410. I'm going to take I'm going to take the over on touchdown passes. The tough one for me is the interceptions. I put it right at a spot where I made it tough for myself. I think I'm with you. I think he's right around 8. So probably take the over on the interceptions. Okay, I hope I'm wrong on that, to be clear. Getting back to the sidearm thing, let me ask you this. He clearly, everyone knows. All right, looks like Patrick Mahomes. Okay. Clearly models his game after Patrick Mahomes. Has the same quarterbacks coach, has a relationship with Patrick. Okay. You can dive into a whole bunch of other things if you want to from the number 15. I saw somebody put out a video on X like 2 weeks ago. Patrick Mahomes' pregame routine is he's jumping up and down, hyping up the crowd, and right next to it was Dylan's, and it's legit the exact same. Okay. And that's fine. My question, to be clear, not knocking it, not supporting it, just stating it is what it is. I don't have a problem with it. My question is, Patrick Mahomes does a lot of those sidearm throws. He does a lot of those off-balance sidearm throws. Do you think maybe there's a connection there? Dylan modeling his game after one of the best, if not the best in the world. He's got some similar traits. Do you think maybe in his mind, hey, I can do some of those things too, and maybe that's some of the reason as well?
Yeah, no, I definitely think, and I don't think it's just Dylan. I think it's the whole generation. And then Dylan, obviously, like you said, emulates, Patrick Mahomes maybe better than other people, and that's why he's compared, is because he can do it, look better when doing it. But a lot of people try to do that. And we see it going across college football, those sidearm or kind of wonky throws that you can make. A lot of different quarterbacks are trying that, and it's really difficult to defend if you can hit it, obviously. But I'm sure at times it's going to cause offensive coordinators headaches and certainly quarterbacks coaches as they're trying to get through mechanics, as you were saying earlier. So I think that's part of it, but I think that's part of this generation.
Patrick Mahomes, Brett Favre, and Phillip Rivers. The only 3 I've ever seen, maybe there were some other college guys that I missed, but the only 3 that I can ever remember seeing that could do it beyond high school at a highly elite level. Phillip Rivers' throwing motion, he didn't alter it. It just was sidearm. And there was a knock on him coming out of the draft. Turned out to be, he did all right. Brett Favre was Brett frickin' Favre, and then you got Patrick Mahomes. So it can be done. It's hard to do it consistently, which is why I can only think of 3 people. I'm sure there's more. If he can hone in on the mechanics, the little things, and we're better as an overall whole as an offense, I like the odds of over 20 touchdown passes. I'd love to say under 7, but around 7. Last question. I know you just gave me the break signal. His completion percentage last year was 67.1. That's not the over-under. There was a large portion of the season where his completion percentage was over 70, and then he had a few games that were like really low, which brought his overall completion percentage down. Over or under on 70, and I'm going to take the over. And the reason is Dylan's jump, but Dana Holgerson. What say you before we head to break?
No, I love those reasons too. I'd say the same thing. I think that's a good and a great percentage to aim for. Remember, quarterbacks in the past are aiming for 60% as the years have gone by and things have changed offensively. That makes a little more sense.
All right, continue to send hate mail into the text line directed at Jake, and we'll be right back.
Fun and easy with the help of Movers and Shakers. Movers and Shakers is homegrown, female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandshakers.ne.com today. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Looking to upgrade your hay equipment this season? Landmark Implement has a lineup of pre-owned balers and windrowers ready to go to work. In the race against time, make sure your hay equipment is up to the task. When you buy used hay equipment from Landmark, you're backed by our extensive parts and service network, complete with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you in the field. Shop all used hay equipment online at landmarkimp.com. or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, folks. The weather is for sure heating up, and Coppell Chevrolet GMC is following suit. The discounts are really as good as they've ever been. $14,500 off list price, or 0% financing on select new models. Folks, you heard that right. Smoking hot deals at Coppell. $14,500 off list price, or 0% APR. So take that short drive down 144th Street or at CoppellCars.com. STK number G269520. All deals with trade-in and approved credit.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikeroll-offs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got about 6 minutes, so we're going to light this candle and dive into it. A texter mentioned that the all-time touchdown pass record in a single season for Nebraska is 26, Zach Taylor. Too soon to throw that out there for Dylan Raiola? I feel like that's a year away. I do feel like he can do it, but I don't feel like it should be a goal. What say you?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily about a goal, but it is. I mean, count when you're talking about being in that conversation. You look at the other names that are in there. Joe Gans had 25, Taylor Martinez, Tanner Lee even had 23, Tommy Armstrong was right there at 22. So, kind of being in that discussion, I think, is more the goal.
Taylor Martinez had 25.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Andy Jurassic was the one who verbally assaulted you along the text line, so I highly support that. Thank you. Shout out to Andy, who you finally got the chance to meet the other day at the football camp. So Now, apparently, Colorado's AD wants us to take time out of our lives to grace them with our presence each and every season in a game. Is this correct?
Yeah. Rick George, the athletic director at Big 12 Media Days, said we would love to play them. We'd love to play them every year because I think it's good for the game. I think it's good for the rivalry that Coach McCartney and Tom Osborne started years ago.
Well, I don't know that Osborne started it. It was McCartney who declared war on Nebraska. Can't even wear red in the building to this day because of McCartney. Now, if I'm McCartney, I'm doing the same freaking thing. I'm trying to take down the big dog. I get it. From our perspective, I just see it a little bit differently. All right. Yes or no? Colorado every year. Jake? Text line. Let us know. Yes or no? Should we play Colorado each and every year? Let us know on the text line.
It's so interesting because Colorado now is unique and interesting with Deion Sanders. But before they hired him, you could have played them for the last 20 years, and it wouldn't have been unique and interesting. It would have. I mean, they were a terrible program. So outside of maybe 1 or 2 years there. So it's kind of interesting to put it there. I mean, if you just asked me, would it be the first one I'd pick? I'd probably pick Oklahoma. But if Oklahoma's off the table and play year in and year out, then I'd pick maybe Colorado. But then you kind of go back to Nebraska canceling the Tennessee series. It feels like it's less of a goal for Nebraska to have an annual matchup that out of conference against somebody that's going to be as good or as high standing as Colorado.
You take the words right out of my mouth. They're interesting right now because of Deion. And yes, there's a bit of a rivalry over the years there, but we're not looking clearly. Troy Dannon is not looking for tough non-conference opponents. And whether Colorado's any good or not in a particular year, let's say 5 years from now, Deion's gone and they're back to 4-8, 3-9. It's still going to be a hard game for us, even though we're not going to get credit for it because it's Colorado. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why Colorado plays Colorado State. What's the benefit to Colorado in that? And they do every year, and it's a big deal to Colorado State. For me, nah, I'm good. Let's either rotate different tough non-conference games every year, or let's link up with Oklahoma. They're probably not going to want to do that. So probably the Troy Dannon and Matt Rule approach of let's not get too crazy in the non-conference. Let's get ready for conference play and hopefully some CFP matchups. What do the folks on the text line have to say there?
Yeah, let's see. Scott in Minnesota says Colorado's no more exciting to him than Missouri, Kansas, or Oklahoma State, or so maybe would rather just jump around some of the former Big 8 teams.
Pause. I know you got more. What if we just rotated old Big 8 opponents? What do you think of that?
I would love it.
I'm down with it.
Yeah, be absolutely in for that. Bill and Bennett says, screw the Buffs. So I don't know if that means he doesn't want to play them or he hates them so much that he'd like to play them.
That's actually a good point. I don't know, because initially I'd be like, he doesn't want to play them, but maybe he wants to play them. He just hates them, but I don't know. A little confusing.
0739 says, absolutely, yes, our biggest hated rival. Augie says, bleep, yeah. Yeah, and then someone would like to say, yes, we play them. Old Dad says, so we play Deion every year. Chubby Rhino says absolutely. Eric says no. Believe Colorado. So we got the answer there. And Isaac says yes. So majority yes, but there's some no's in there as well.
What if we knew Deion was going to be there for like the next decade? Would that change your answer?
It's I mean, for entertainment purposes, I'd be down to do it every year. I'd love to do it, even without Deion, but especially with Deion, absolutely. I just don't feel. I feel like we know the way that the athletic department is looking the opposite way. So when Colorado's AD says it, I don't think our athletic department's on that same thought process. So for me, I'd say yes. I'd play him every year.
If Deion was there, I'd say yes. And we know it's not going to happen. But if Deion was there, I'd say yes. If he's not there, I still say no. I'm good. I'd rather rotate tough non-conference opponents. To your point, doesn't seem like we want to do that. I do think if we could get Oklahoma to buy in, which they didn't even want to buy into playing us every single year in the Big 12. They're the reason. We wanted to play them every year. They're the reason that we didn't play every year. So I don't think that that's going to happen either. All right. Any final thoughts before we get out of here today, Jake?
Well, no, just going back to Oklahoma. It's amazing because the Athletic ranked that as the 6th best rivalry in college football, and they haven't played year in, year out since 1996, right? So that is amazing to me. But yeah, I mean, the thing about Oklahoma is always feeling like kind of like second fiddle rival because Texas is there. You know, it's kind of taken over. So I don't know that. Even going back on my Colorado statement, now that you kind of more have talked me into it, I think I would rather rotate. Like it's a good rivalry. Maybe if both teams were like top 10 year in and year out, it'd be exciting. But yeah, kind of the newness or what we saw of the not in the conference matchups reappearing would dissipate a little bit if it was year to year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fun show. It went off the rails thanks to Jake, but we brought it back on thanks to the texters. Hopefully you had some fun. Have a glorious weekend. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw the bone.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.